A Creed in Stone Creek by Linda Lael Miller, narrated by Jack Garrett.
Chapter 1. Some instinct, or maybe just a stir of a breeze, awakened Stephen Creed. He sat up in bed, took a fraction of a moment to orient himself to unfamiliar surroundings. One by one, the mental tumblers clicked into place. Room 6, Happy Wanderer Motel and Campground, Stone Creek, Arizona. The door stood open to the fresh, high-country air, which was crisply cool on this early June night, but not cold. And the little boy, Stephen's newly adopted son, sat on the cement step outside. A bundle, probably his favorite toy, a plush skunk named Fred, rolled up in his blanket, rested beside him, and the boy's tiny frame was rimmed in an aura of silvery gold moonlight. Something tightened in Stephen's throat at the poignancy of the sight. Poor kid. It wasn't hard to guess who he was waiting for. Matt was small, with his dad's dark hair and his mother's violet eyes, and he was exceptionally intelligent, maybe even gifted. But he was still only 5 years old. How could he be expected to comprehend that his folks, Zach and Jilly St. John, were gone for good? That they wouldn't be coming to pick him up, no matter how hard he hoped, or how many stars he wished on, that night or any other. Stephen's eyes burned, and he had to swallow the hard ache that rose in his throat. Jilly had succumbed to a particularly virulent form of breast cancer a year and a half ago, and Zach had only lasted a few months before the grief dragged him under too, however indirectly. "Hey, Tex," Stephen said, trying to sound casual as he sat up on the thin, lumpy mattress of the fold-out sofa. He'd given the bed to the child when they checked in that evening. Stephen shoved a hand through his own dark blonde hair. "What's the trouble?" His voice was hoarse. "Can't sleep?" Matt looked back at him, shook his head instead of answering aloud. He looked even smaller than usual, sitting there in the expanse of that wide-open doorway. Stephen rolled out of bed, shirtless and barefoot, wearing a pair of black sweatpants that had seen better days. He crossed the scuffed linoleum floor.
"Sample complete. Ready to continue?"